Well, hey, everybody. Bonus. We're going to do a live call-in show. I know. It's going to be fun. It's just going to be me. Let's see here. I'm going to post a couple things out here on Twitter and Facebook, and we'll get rocking. Man, I got wires everywhere. Hang on. Wire here. Wire there. Got a spider there. It's hotter than smoke in this studio. Turn the air down real quick. I love that I can turn the air down from here. I named the air conditioner Iceman. All right. Bonus show. I know. And I got Liberty and Kennesaw State on here because I'm not watching Middle Tennessee. Actually, I might switch to the 2-box. We'll see. Hey, Thomas. All right, so I'm going to need your calls because I was going to get Scotty G in here at the last minute, but I looked on Find My Friends, and he is trucking down the interstate towards Detroit. I don't know what he's doing, but he's on the interstate going towards Detroit. No clue. So it's just us. And I had a cancellation for my trip report show. We couldn't get the computer working for the guests. So here we are. This will be Monday's show. Homecoming was incredible. It was a movie. Unfortunately, it's going to cost us this week against Alabama because we're not going to have quarterback. We're not going to have our running back. Was it worth it? In the long run, probably, because I'll be able to say I was there for the Brady Cook legacy game, but it's not going to be pretty Saturday. Hey, Andrew. But man, it was incredible. I've cried a couple times over that game. That was because I love Brady Cook. He is a true son. That's what you call like somebody that is a true Mizzou Tiger, a true son. Because he grew up tailgating. He grew up giving fives to the players on the way in on Tiger Walk, and to be able to do what he did, that guy would give his leg for the university, and he did. Love that kid. All right, let's do a show. Here we go. I got the phone lines ready. I think I do. I think I do. See, we got Instagram going. Yeah, we do. Ooh, Ashley's got a good question about, do you know when Hollywood Studios and Resorts will have Christmas decor? That's a good question. We'll have to talk about that. But I will need calls. So once we get through the intro, let's take some calls. So it's not just me rambling. All right, let's get the show rolling. Man, it's hot in here. Oh, you know what? I have my vent closed. Hang on. Whew. No one ever said I was smart. It's like, why is there no air in here? I had the vent closed. Oh man, that feels so good now. Woo, bring it on. Hey, Betsy. Oh man, that feels good. I'm probably freezing my wife out upstairs because I just turned the air down to 68. Oh well, she can get a blanket. If you're watching, Pam, hello. You can turn back down to 70. All right, here we go. Ooh, let me get the music ready. We got to do the music because it's a live call-in show. We got to get the band ready. Here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line. It's a bonus show. It's the BOGP Open Line After Dark. That's right. We're doing this one a little bit later on Wednesday night, October 23rd, 2024. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com. And of course, one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday night, or happy Monday if you're listening to the show on the replay. That's right. This is your Monday show. This is your kickoff to Halloween week here on the feed. Spooky. Thanks for tuning in. Now, if this is your first time ever listening to the Be Our Guest podcast, where have you been for the past 16 and a half years? We've been waiting for you since 2008, since the classic iPod, where you had to plug that sucker in overnight to your computer. But we're glad you finally made it here in 2024, almost 2025. We're glad you're here. Just so you know, Mondays are typically trip reports where we get one of our great listeners of the show and they come on and they tell us about their fun trip to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, a Disney cruise, every once in a while Adventures by Disney. We break it down. We talk dining, we talk attractions, we talk about all the planning, we talk about the time the kids spilled the soda at Pecos Bills. We tell stories. That's what we do on Mondays. On Wednesdays, we do listener questions. You can always send in a question to mike@beourguestpodcast.com. And we answer those to the best of our ability with the team. Scott, Ricky, and Pam join me for those shows. And then on Fridays, we have a topical show. We just kind of shoot the breeze, talk about things on Fridays to get the weekend rolling. And that's how things go. And then on Sunday nights, we do live call-in shows like we're going to do here over the next 45 minutes or so. So that's kind of how the week works here if you are new to our program. However, we had a guest who we could not make the connection this evening as we're supposed to record our trip reports on Wednesday nights. So bam, here we are. We're just going to do a live show. We're just going to hang out for about 45 minutes after dark here in the studios and have a good time. So the phone lines are open. You want to talk about anything? I have some topics I could bring to the table. We could talk about your favorite. Who are you stoked for Candlelight Processional narrators? Those were announced last week. Of course, everybody always goes MPH, right? Neil Patrick Harris. He always comes back, and then he always goes over to La Cava and has his famous drink that is named after him. But is there anybody else? There's a lot of new narrators this year. So who are you stoked for that? We have the start of the runDisney season for 24-25 with the Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend starting in just 2 weeks. Actually, a week as this show comes out on Monday. So if you're doing that race, what are you excited for? Marathon weekend coming up in about 2 months. Then we're heading out to Disneyland after that. The medals for all those race weekends have been released. Also, hang on. I got to get this ready on the board here because how about this? We talked about the cake bake shop prices a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we were on it for a week solid. We could not stop. It wasn't just us. It was all of it. It wasn't just like us, like the four of us on the show. It was all of us as a community and Disney community as a whole. We just kept saying, holy cow, $8 for chocolate milk and sodas and stuff like that. They lowered their prices this week. What can I say except you're welcome? How about that? That never happens. Now, don't expect that to be a trend, but the prices did get lowered a little bit for especially the kids' prices. So what can you do? We got chalk it up to a small victory. Now, that was short-lived because if you're listening live here on Wednesday night, Disney came in and raised prices on a lot of stuff today, like character dining, like pretzels and sodas, and especially annual passes. So the yin and the yang of the universe always kind of has a way to work things out. And Dennis is here. I see Dennis in the chat down in Texas. He is a Star Wars expert. He does a Star Wars podcast. The Force is strong with Dennis. He knows his Disney Cruise Line. He's over in the clubhouse. You ever have a question about Disney Cruise Line, drop into the Disney Cruise Line channel. He will answer your questions right away. He's just a fount of knowledge. But Dennis is strong with the Force, and you know, the Force has to be in balance. Like there can't be a Luke Skywalker without a Darth Vader. It has to be. And so as soon as Cake Bake Shop made the peanut butter and jelly sandwich for kids, not $18, but like $13.99, they said, well, we can't have that. The annual pass now has to go up $100. Just how it is, I guess. I don't know. All right, so let's talk Disney. You guys try to get in a lot of times. We'll have 3 or 4 calls stacked at the same time. Right now, the phone lines are open, and we're only going to be here for about 45 minutes. So you want to talk Disney? Let's do it. I don't want to have to talk for 45 minutes. I want to hear from you guys. So 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395 is the phone number, and we have our first call coming in. Let me get the board ready, and it looks like it's Eric out in Connecticut. Eric, what's going on?
How are you? Happy Halloween.
Hey, happy Halloween week to you. How are things out in Connecticut?
Oh, I'm a teacher, so it's going to be a long week.
Yeah.
All the kids are going to be psyched. They're all asking what my costume is going to be, what their costume, telling me what their costume is. For all you teachers out there, the trick is to cut them off on the costume conversations. I want to be so surprised when I see you, so that they just don't go on and on and on about it. Anyway, I
Solid
have
advice.
a Halloween question for you.
Yes.
I don't know if it's really a Halloween question. It's more of a Halloween inspired question. What do you and the callers in the chat feel is the spookiest restaurant at Walt Disney World? Is it Victoria Albert with their scary prices? Is it the I don't know, is it I wanted to say Monorails, but I want to say 50s Primetime Cafe because you have social anxiety.
Yeah.
Could it be the Sci-Fi Diner with the old horror movies and monster movies being shown on the screen? What do you think is the spookiest restaurant?
I like it. I'm trying to think if I could throw in one more besides that because I like that. If you have social anxiety, dude, 50s would be a nightmare. And
Yeah,
Victorian
yeah,
Albert's
it's a nightmare for me.
for a cheapo like me, Victorian Albert's, whew, I mean, come on now. There's a lot of places like that though. I'm trying to think
So
like atmosphere.
I'm going to give you the one that's the spookiest and feels the creepiest for me. And it's a little bit out there, but going into Le Cellier, it feels like a basement. And it's not a claustrophobic restaurant, but it's kind of small. It isn't exactly tight, but they do a good job at making you feel like you're in a cellar. And it gives me a throwback to a restaurant that I was in Pennsylvania that really was deep underground in an old wine cellar that they converted to a restaurant that just felt very, very tight. So for me, the creepiest and the kind of the spookiest restaurant for me to go into is definitely Le Cellier.
Ooh, see now you're talking to Mike in the Midwest here from Missouri, and you know that Missouri is known as the cave state. We're also the show me state, but we're also the cave state. So lots of caves. So Le Cellier is, and I live my life in our basement here, my podcast studio, my office, all in the basement. So I'm very comfortable in the basement. So that would not Le Cellier is super comfortable to me, and plus breadsticks. Very comforting.
Well, and my girlfriend loves going to the Food and Wine Festival because you can get the cheese soup without having to go to Le Cellier.
There you go.
Same with the cruises. You can get the cheese soup at any restaurant if you ask for it without going to Le Cellier. I think I said when I was doing the cruise line, I don't know because I had a high fever when I was talking about it, that when we went to all the restaurants, she would tell the waiter how much she loved the cheese soup, and he would just have the cheese soup ready for her when she showed up.
I like it. That's a great question. So we're going to ask that to our other listeners and have them chime in. So Eric, may the force be with you this week, and just watch out for the plastic spider. I don't even know if plastic spiders are a thing anymore. They used to be, but I'm old.
Well, we have some plastic spiders up in the library that I work at. I'm a school librarian, so we have some plastic spiders. We had to stop the kids from taking them. We just kind of gave up on that. We just put out a whole bunch of plastic spiders and let the kids grab them on their way out of the library.
You're a good librarian. I wish you would have worked in my school. We could have been a good team.
All right.
Take care, brother. You have a good week.
Take care.
All right. Good talking to you, man. Take care. Bye-bye. I love Eric. He's out there for the kids and he's having fun with them. I mean, plastic spiders. I mean, it's Halloween, right? Okay. I forgot too. We got to have a password. This is a live call-in show. We do passwords. And Eric just gave us the question, right? Spookiest restaurant. Would it be 50s prime time? Because you have social anxiety. Victorian Albert's because of the pricing. Let's keep this going. What could be another restaurant where there'd be spooky for this season? And what would be the reason why? Could it be Whispering Canyon? Because you have a fear of having to demonstrate your equestrian prowess, where you may have to get on to saddle up a one of those, what are those called? The wooden horses and go around the restaurant? I don't know. I'm not good at this. All right, we got our next call. Hey, who's joining us? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, Mike, happy Wednesday. I don't want to leave you hanging.
I appreciate it.
Perk from Cleveland.
Hey, who is it? I'm sorry, Thomas?
Thomas from Cleveland.
Thomas, that's what
Yep.
I thought I'd cut you off. Okay, so real quick, password, because I didn't get it from Eric. And we're going to do this again on Sunday night. I'm kind of jumping into that, but what's as a kid, what was the craziest thing you got when you went trick-or-treating, if you went trick-or-treating? Like as a treat? Scott has a wild thing that he got. I think I'm going to let him share it Sunday, but did you get anything out of the norm, craziest candy, or even something besides candy?
So we had a dentist in our neighborhood who would give out toothbrushes and toothpaste.
I've heard that. Like there was somebody, because there was actually a dentist office. It was like a converted house in when I was a little kid. It was a house, but they turned it into a dentist office, and you could go by there and like they would buy your candy for money. And then if you trick or treated there, they would give you the toothpaste and the toothbrush too. No, I don't think
I
anybody
would take the money.
Yeah, well, you
But
got both,
no, it was,
but yeah, nobody really
it
cared
was a
for
house.
that.
There's a dentist in our neighborhood that just gave out toothpaste and toothbrushes.
Huh. I mean,
and
it makes
maybe
sense.
dental floss too, if I remember.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
A little checkup on the way. Yeah, that's pretty cool. No, that's pretty sweet. All right, so what's on your mind?
Yeah. Oh, so I was really disappointed. The Sunday show at the premiere pass. I was listening in on the beginning, but I was cooking dinner, so I had to kind of turn off the podcast, and I didn't listen. I'm waiting for the show to hit the podcast feed, but I wanted to talk about the premiere pass.
Yeah, let's go.
If you have a minute.
Yeah, sure.
I personally, I don't know what happened on the show, but I personally love it because for a guy like me, I think it's absolutely perfect. A guy that goes once every 2 years, and like we're not going next year. We're not going in 25. We didn't go in 24 because we did the Disney cruise. So in 26, when we go again, this is something that I would definitely buy.
So would you buy it just for, say, the Magic Kingdom because of, say, the density of the attractions? You feel like you're getting, because my thing is, I don't think I necessarily, and again, this is not something I would buy because I definitely vacation different than you. I don't currently have an annual pass just because I'm kind of in this weird lull between trips where I have months and months and months, and I just didn't want to let it sit. So it didn't make sense to renew and let it sit. I'm going to buy a new one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to pay an extra $100 now. Today was a bad day. It's like one of those days where like, right, yeah. But I mean, we all get bit, but yeah, the renewal is now recalculating them. I'm not even recalculating. I'm not one of those people. Like I have no regrets. There's no reason to do it because I can't go back. It doesn't matter if I recalculate because I can't go back and be like, well, I messed up. So I live and learn. But here's the thing. Like Animal Kingdom, like I just don't see this making sense for the next couple of years at Animal Kingdom, even though it's not quite as expensive over there. I just don't think. I think you could go through there without that and probably see as many attractions, maybe not as quickly, but I don't see like the percentage of time you would spend to be worth it. How do you feel about like Animal Kingdom as opposed to like Magic Kingdom with that pass?
No, I agree. I think I would only do it for like Magic Kingdom and
the studios, maybe
Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But I don't think I would do it for Animal Kingdom or even Epcot. You could probably get away with just doing the regular, pay the $35 or whatever it is for the lightning lanes. But I don't know. My only issue with it is I wish it was open to everyone. But I could see where Disney didn't do this because, like, I typically stay at a deluxe resort, but I could see myself staying at like a Port Orleans or a Riverside and then taking that money and using it towards the Premier Pass.
Yeah, but I mean, that's exactly what Disney's thinking, right? They're like, well,
yeah,
they're enticing you to move up to, well, you can't do it unless, you're at a deluxe. So instead of Riverside or French Quarter, you have to at least consider Animal Kingdom Lodge or Wilderness Lodge, like bump or like an Old Key West in a deluxe studio, or, like what's the minimum investment for the stay to be able to qualify to get that access kind of with everything.
Yeah. But for someone like me who might just go once a year, I would pay the money when I'm doing my Magic Kingdom Day or my Animal Kingdom, or not my Animal Kingdom, my Hollywood Studios, because I could see the value in that. I don't have to get up. I don't have to worry about, the lightning lane time. If we get the park an hour later than what we planned on, we're not rushed. We could just go ahead and do do the attractions we want to do. I see the value of it.
Makes
but
sense.
it is really expensive, and I don't like how Disney is kind of pricing people out.
Yeah,
However, I would probably pay for it. I would pay for it, but we have one vacation a year.
yeah.
I get, between my daughter's dance and my wife's school schedule and my daughter's, they never combine, and my work schedule, we have like a 2-week window where we can go on vacation.
Yeah, that's the thing is like our
So-
audience, the folks who listen to our show, we tend to go multiple times. We're very lucky for a lot of us. We get to go more than once a year. And so the math doesn't really math for something like that. But and I mean, I speak for this too. Like I do sometimes get frustrated because I want to not have to stand in a standby line for a long time, but I do get to go quite a bit. It's one of those things where I understand Disney is a business. Their number one objective is to turn a profit. I get that, because as much as we're in it, because I go to Walt Disney World for the nostalgia, and I didn't even get to go as a kid. I wasn't a person who grew up on the movies. I know a lot of the folks who listen to our show, sat down with the family and watched Wonderful World of Disney every Sunday night. And, they were there in 71 when Walt Disney World opened. Some people were there further back at Disneyland, and, they had these cross-country treks and station wagons. I mean, we hear these stories on Mondays, and they warm my heart. Like, I wish I had that. We didn't have the means. We went to Six Flags. But just in the short time I've been going to Walt Disney World, I've built nostalgia for Pop Century, with my my family as they were growing up, and a couple of stays at Riverside and, here and there, but just there is a strong nostalgia there. But I have to remember that as much as I want to think that Disney wants to be there to give Mike Rallman his nostalgia, I think they do want to do that. I think that is kind of a goal of the company. The bottom line is they have shareholders and they are trying to make money, but it's getting to be a super fine line because, like you said, I'm definitely not, I'm not struggling to like pay my mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we're not rich or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely middle class, if anything, like we are middle of America, middle class, if that, we watch our pennies so that we can afford for Mallory to do tumbling and, to be able to be a cheerleader, all that kind of stuff. We're very careful with our money to be able to do like stuff like that. And, every time Disney raises their prices, we have to be more and more careful. And I think there's a lot of people like us, and it's getting really, really close to the line here, where it does become a little bit out of reach if, cause like the value resorts are getting, that's going to be my only option pretty soon. The moderates and the deluxes are getting a little bit beyond me at this point.
Yeah. And I understand completely. Cause so Mike, you and I are in the same boat. But what I do, well, I'm sure you probably do the same thing. I'll eat ramen noodles for lunch.
Same. A turkey. I have a turkey sandwich. I eat a turkey sandwich every
because
day.
I want to, because I prioritize my vacation over that. Like I make lots of sacrifices during the rest of the year, and I work overtime and a second job and all that kind of stuff because I prioritize my vacation. I want my vacation to be awesome. Yeah. But you are right. It is kind of, it's a little difficult now. You're looking at it and you're like, oh man. And I'm lucky too, because I get military discounts on park tickets and military discounts on hotel rooms. So it kind of, for me personally, it like I could book that deluxe room because it's cheaper, or I'm getting a discount on the tickets. So I thank Disney for that, because they're really awesome taking care of vets and our service members.
And as they,
exactly.
Total, and they should, and you guys should have all kinds of discounts for everything because you guys are the best among us. I mean, I appreciate that so much. And I'll be honest, I get discounts sometimes of the year. We're blacked out a lot as travel agents, but when I get them, I'm super appreciative for that because it does help me, stay at like a studio at Old Key West. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is cool. Because it's like the same price
Yeah.
every once in a while as like a Pop Century or a Riverside or something. So we get them every once in a while too, but they're blacked out. Obviously, whenever it's busy, they want to sell them at full price. I get it, but I mean,
Yeah.
we're this is first world problems. Like, I get it. Like, we're fine. But I just, with all these, like, the things that kind of get me are like, it's not even the huge price increases. Like today when Disney, raised the prices of a Coke by 20 cents or a pretzel and a hot dog and like the character dining, like, that kind of stuff. It's not a lot, but cumulatively for a family of 4 over a week, it is. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I know there's
Definitely.
inflation, but
Yeah.
but you can't tell me that they're not making, like, eventually it is a lot. It does make a difference to a family because 20 cents for a Coke, you're going to be buying 4 Cokes when you sit down every time. And you're going to do that maybe 2 or 3 times a day for 7 days or 6 days or 5 days, what have you. And it's not just going to be Cokes. You're raising the price on the pretzel. You're going to buy probably 3 or 4 pretzels throughout the week. You're talking, that's a sneaky $100 throughout the week. And $100 is, I mean, maybe it's not a lot to a lot of people, but $100 is a lot to me.
Well, it's a lot. I know it's $100 for a week. And especially when you weren't expecting it. That adds up.
I mean, it's a couple tanks of
And
gas, I mean, in the real world, that's how I think about things,
yeah,
Oh,
no, and you're not wrong. And what I hope is, like, okay, so 95% of the people probably listening to this podcast right now are going to go to Disney for their annual trip or their twice a year trip. But you start thinking, well, maybe instead of doing 5 days in Disney, I'm going to do 4 days.
yeah.
Maybe I'll try to find something else to do. And
I mean, because I will
go
always,
see.
I think I will always go because I always come home and I say, man, I had the best time. I look at my pictures and like we're all smiling and we have all these great memories that we make. And, I love like my cruises. I still think right now, Disney Cruise Line is such an amazing value for your money. I know that it's expensive,
Don't
but
get
I
me
think,
started.
oh my gosh, you get such a great value because it's like a deluxe state room. It's like staying at a deluxe hotel. To me, it's like signature dining every night, because it's fancy to me. And then you get a Broadway show every night. You get like unlimited room service. You get to go like do all these little, game show type things all the time. Every day you're at a tropical place to go like do cool port adventures. You get to see places you never get to see if you're in Missouri. I mean, you're on a beach or something. I mean, and you got first class Disney service like 24/7. Like, you just cannot beat Disney Cruise Line right now. I think, I love all, Disneyland. I can't wait to get back in January. I'm counting the days to the races out there. I just love it. And Walt Disney World, I love too. But, I think we just kind of go through cycles in our Disney life. And I don't know. Like, I want what's best for the things I love. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I think if, as a coach, I've had coaches because I'm in sports, right? The worst thing you could ever have is a coach that would just ignore you. Like, you never wanted a coach that would just kind of just let you go and not give you advice and not get on you. Like, if a coach got on you and was hard on you, that meant the coach cared about you, wanted to see you do your
Yeah.
best and make
Yep.
sure that you were engaged. And that's kind of how I am right now with Walt Disney World, right? Like, I care. Like, I really do care about Walt Disney World, and I want it to be the best experience possible, not only for me, but I mean, this is what I do for a living. And this is what I tell people when I'm sitting in the stands at Francis Hall at a football game. Like, I tell them, I'm the Disney guy. People know this. Like, I tell them all the fun times I've had running races there and, going to Magic Kingdom and Epcot with my family at New Year's Eve, and I tell them all these great stories. But, I don't want to have to be the guy who's always, battling all these battles with, oh my gosh, it's so expensive, or oh my gosh, it's so complicated nowadays, or oh my gosh, this, or oh my, it seems like over the past couple of years, like I'm just like fighting all these negative battles with people that they're seeing in social media. I just want to talk about, I want Disney to get back to, well, tell me about this ride or tell me about this cool parade they're having at night, because that should be the essence of the park to me. And I want to get back to that.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna prop you up right now because that's what you're doing, is you're reminding us every day or every other day, whenever the podcast comes out, you are reminding us of why we go and why we like it. Mike, I wear my Mickey Mouse hat to the VFW.
I love it.
So I'm a Disney guy, and next to like a motorcycle club bar, I'm I'm a Mickey guy through and through. So but you're doing a great job of reminding us.
Well, I appreciate that.
The great memories that we had. I mean, I remember to this day, my favorite memory is my daughter on the balcony of the Contemporary with her bubble wand, with the fireworks in the background, and she was in her pajamas. Like, that was awesome. And you're right. Disney has to come back to that. But, you're the person that's bringing that back. You're bringing that magic back and reminding us of that. So you're doing an excellent job.
Well, I
So
mean,
thank you for that.
I love it. It's like, I care about it. I love it. I just want to, we have a very small audience compared to the Disney company, but I hope that the next leader, because I'm very much, I read books about, football coaches and leaders in general in business and stuff. I read biographies, and I think with the right leader that this could happen quickly. Like, there could be a philosophy change and just like, look, we need to recapture this. And it wouldn't be hard because Disney sells, fantasy. Disney sells believe, Disney sells this. Like, this is what they turn this around, like make a 180 in a very quick fashion. Because I mean, like, is there consumers? We want to believe, what I'm saying? Like, we are believers. What I'm saying? Like, we are not, we're not pessimistic, for the most part. Like, it's hard to make us as an audience, it's hard to make us pessimistic. Like, we believe in the magic. Like, okay, give us a little bit of goodwill and we're right with you. And I think this could be turned around, really quickly. So I'm hoping, because I know they're talking about leadership change, not till 26, but I'm with them.
Yeah,
I'm in for the long haul.
And it's important too, because if I can't transfer that belief to my daughter, then they've lost my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like, I have friends who are like, oh, we're going to go to Disney. It's going to be their once ever trip, because everyone goes to Disney at least once. And, okay, we're planning this and we're doing it. But like, we've gone, my daughter's 12. We've gone since she was 5, almost every year. So, but if I can't transfer that to my daughter, then they're going to lose my daughter.
Right.
And I think that's the important part. Everyone's going to go to Disney once. Just everyone.
But you don't want once.
But
you need people that just like had such a great time that they cannot wait to tell people about it when they get home and then come back again. That's the whole key.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I don't want people listening to my podcast once. Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want people listening to the Be Our Guest podcast once. That does me no good. I want you to listen to the show and say, I enjoyed that. I want to hear what the next show is all about. That's the whole goal. I want us to be a community. I want us to be able to like get to know each other, but you can only do that if we, you listen to multiple shows, we develop a relationship, somehow through this show. That's my goal.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of kids, I every Sunday I keep forgetting to talk about this. But I have a theory. It's a weird theory of mine. But I listen to I drive a lot. So I listen to a lot of podcasts. A lot of them are Disney. And, every time, they talk, the podcasters talk about their kids, or their kids come on the podcast and talk, and how you talk about your daughters and Scott about his daughter. I think that Disney kids are amazing kids. And if you don't take your kids to Disney all the time, I don't know. I think your kids aren't going to be awesome.
I agree.
So, does that mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm talking nonsense right now, but I had a couple glasses of wine with dinner. But
hey,
I was just thinking. I was thinking about it. I was like, the way you guys talk about your daughters and the podcasters that I listen to when their kids come on the show. I don't know. I think you have to take, if you're a Disney kid, I think you're going to turn out pretty awesome. So
I agree with that.
that should be another
Everything
plug
I
for
do in
Disney.
everything I do in life is for my 2 daughters and my wife. I'll tell you that. I love them to death, and they've made my life so awesome. I'm so glad we got to go to Disney as many times as we have, and we're blessed. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to try to get a couple other folks in here, but Thomas, man, great call. We got philosophical, man. We got deep. I like it though. You brought it tonight.
We did. Yeah, I do what I can.
I appreciate you, buddy. You take care. It's good to talk to you. You take care of that family.
You too.
All right. Stay safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Thomas out there in Cleveland, one of our best military there. We always appreciate our military folks, veterans and active duty. You guys are the best among us. And thank you guys and gals. Thank you for keeping us safe. We appreciate you. Man, we got deep on that call. We have our next call on the line. Hey, who's joining us? Hello, caller. I see you there from the 631 area code. Oop, you're breaking up a little bit. Who's there? Hello. Hey, I'm going to hang up and then try to call back. We have a bad line there. Give us a call back from the 631. All right, 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. Some of the scary restaurants, Sean says. Whoa, we're getting it back in. I forgot to mute the ringer. Let's see if we got this time. Caller, are you there?
What's up, Mike? It's Jason.
Jason, we had a bad line there.
Almost. Oh no, that was somebody else.
Oh, that was
I might have swooped in and stole.
Oh no, you did, yeah. Okay, yeah, because now it's 5-6. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, cool. So how are things? You watching football tonight?
All good. I was gonna say the spookiest restaurant on property is the lunching pad, because on top of the lunching pad is the most terrifying ride on Disney property, the Astro Orbiter.
Oh,
so that's my spookiest restaurant.
We've been having this discussion today in the clubhouse. You know what? At one point about 5 years ago, the Astro Orbiter was my favorite ride of the Magic Kingdom. I love that sucker.
Really?
I had a nostalgia kick for it. It's so cool. I love it.
It's I will say the views are very nice, and we've rode it during the fireworks, and that's obviously just amazing with the fireworks going off. But man, it's terrifying. I feel like I'm gonna fall off every time. I cannot shake that scary feeling.
It is. It's scary in a bunch of ways, right? We had the conversation over in the clubhouse about the elevator, because the elevator, A1, you feel like you could suffocate especially in the summer. I mean, it's only like, I bet you get hotter in that elevator than you do in an easy bake oven, because my daughters and I had a sister growing up, and she had an easy bake oven, and that was just a light bulb. So I'm sure you get hotter in that elevator than an easy bake oven. And then you're scared you're going to get trapped in it, because it takes that thing creeps. I mean, it creeps. You're like, are we ever going to get there? Then you pop out and go out. And but we talked about like how those rockets bank. It's at the end, right? Where it kind of speeds up, it banks at the end, or it's wild.
Yeah, when you go up to the top, your rocket slants inward, so you feel like you're kind of gonna like fall to the middle, and then when you land, for some reason I guess you speed up. I don't know if that's just supposed to simulate like a rocket descending back into Earth or whatever, but you feel like you're gonna fly out the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty terrifying, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm always like, I'm gonna hit the Contemporary. I'm for sure gonna hit the Contemporary.
Fly me up the California Grill.
Exactly.
Bust them that way.
Just gonna skip right off the train station or something. The berm. It's gonna be wild. No, so
oh my gosh.
I gotta ask you the password though, because you snuck in here before that. What's the craziest thing you ever got on Halloween, like in your pillowcase or your bag?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like I've never gotten anything like wild. I think it's just kind of, just a normal candy, but then sometimes you'll get like, I don't know, apple slices or pretzels and like as a kid, you're like, come on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Where's the candy? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I think maybe I got a toothbrush once in my Halloween bag, which probably smart, not going to lie, but
practical.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten anything like wild in my Halloween bag.
So TJ sent us a message today, Scott and I on Facebook, one of our lizards. He said that he got, somebody was a record producer in his neighborhood as a kid, and he got a 45. This person gave out 40. You're younger than me, so you might not even know it. Do you know what a 45 is? You probably do.
I don't know what a 45 is.
Shut up. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Oh my
God. So they were records like that record players played. You know what a record is,
Okay.
right? Like a vinyl. You know what
I
a
do.
vinyl? Okay.
I'm not. Yeah. I
Okay,
know what a
okay.
record
So, oh my God, I feel like I'm so. Oh my God, you're killing me, Jason. So, but like vinyls are like big ones, right? 45s were like singles. They just played like they had one song on one side and one song on the other. A 45. Okay, so
Okay.
this producer that TJ had, he handed out Man-Eater singles by Hall and Oates, which, by the way, one of the
Oh my
best
gosh.
songs of all time. And he said he took that thing home and played that thing forever. So that's the craziest thing he got in his bag. Because we talked about, we're going to talk about this on Sunday night. I don't think he's going to be able to call in, but we could share this. So, I mean, that's the weirdest thing, but that might be the most awesome thing that anybody's got in their bag.
Yeah, that's like memorable. Like I feel like you'd always remember that. Like as a kid, you may not like it in the moment as a kid just because you're so hyper fixated on chocolate. But like, man, that's kind of awesome. Not gonna lie.
Oh, that lasts way past the chocolate and the buzz, man. It's way past Christmas. You got boom, 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 boom. Oh man, I love that song. That song is solid. Oh, it's so
Oh my
good.
gosh.
So what else do you have? Could you believe that Cake Bake Shop, after we were being so hard on it, they came down on a few prices, not everything, but some.
I honestly, it's funny. Does bullying work? I'm not going to say either way on this podcast.
Texas.
But,
if we bully,
Texas,
they will use video footage and
I'm just-
find us and take away our annual passes.
we didn't have to. I didn't have to go and throw beer bottles and water bottles in front of the Cake Bake Shop. So I guess that's good. That's kind of wild. I did see that some decreased by like 1 cent, and some things I think actually increased in price.
I saw that. Yeah,
I guess it's nice that something's decreased. So I guess it's nice that they're hearing the feedback and they kind of corrected that before it even opened.
Yeah, I think they were just. My thing is, I always wonder because they have to. I don't know if they have like a Zoom, because there's a team that has to address this, right? And I always wish that I could be in on those meetings, because they had to be okay, like at 8:00 on Monday, we're having a Zoom call, or I don't know if they're in person, whatever. There's going to be some kind of a meeting, and there's probably a social media person. There's probably some because it's probably not that big of a company. I don't know how big the company is. I don't know if they have like a C-suite or what. There's probably 10 people around a table. I could see it like, all right, we're taking some heat from like all corners of the internet, like everywhere, like podcasts, bloggers, vloggers, like everybody's coming at us. Like, what are we going to do? Okay. We could lower the price of some of the kids menu things like by a little bit. Brilliant. But let's raise prices here. I think they'll notice. Like, I mean, come on now. Like, I just want to be like in the meeting, like just like a fly on the wall. Just because I'm so blue collar. I don't know how this stuff works, but it would probably be like a Saturday Night Live skit. I don't know.
I would also love to know that. I could imagine they sat in a meeting where like, yeah, we're kind of getting killed by this. Maybe let's rein in the prices. I did see on the live show, I think it was Jason Miller said, do you think that they put the prices up high to begin with to generate buzz, and then maybe they were going to lower them like no matter what, but they were just going to put them up high to, get some buzz around them? I guess even bad press is better than no press. I don't know. I would love to. I would have loved to hear those meetings to see what they were thinking.
God, that'd totally be thinking outside the box. That'd be like playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. If they intentionally did that, I mean, that takes some cojones if that's what you're doing. Seriously, like I don't know.
And then maybe people were also like, "Wow, I guess if it's that expensive, maybe I'll go and try something," and that brings people in. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what the crowd reaction is, but maybe it was a 4D chess move. I don't know.
If it was, man, to give that person the I don't know what the Webby Award or whatever the social media people get, because I mean Scott was like, I'm going no matter what, dude. I got to check it out. I'm like, dude, go. I'm like, I'm not. I want to hear, like you're on the podcast, dude. Go, because I want to talk about it. But man, I am not paying that for a piece of cake. Like I can get 12 boxes of Betty Crocker at the grocery store for that. No way, because I'm cheap. I mean, I know it won't be as pretty.
When
but
Scott comes down, we might actually go there. I know we have the Tudo reservation, but we might We might find ourselves at the cake bake shop
Oh, dude.
trying it out.
I'm just telling you, I've lived the last 10 years of my life with Scotty G. We've done everything. I mean, we've been in a rocket on Astro Orbiter, in the same rocket together during fireworks. It was not romantic, but it
Oh
was a
my
thing. I
gosh.
can't believe we got in the same rocket. It was a long time ago. But it was not comfortable. Let me just tell you that. When those things
I
start
was
going, you're
about
like,
to ask, how did your legs feel after
dude,
that one?
I didn't feel them for the next 45 minutes. I'll tell you that, dude. I think I collapsed on the elevator on the way down. But I will tell you, Scotty G will go to the cake bake shop because that is his thing. Like when he gets on a mission to try something new like that, he loves stuff like that. He loves going to fancy like restaurants and eateries. Like that's why he loves like Narcoossee's and Citricos and like the Edison. People were talking about the Edison today in the clubhouse. I'm telling you what, man, the cake bake shop is like, that's his bailiwick, man. He's in. Like you got get
if they sold old fashions,
Oh.
Scott might as well just hand him his bank account information.
Just I mean, give him the card on the way in, 100%. But see, like to me,
Give him the whole thing. Be like, whatever you want, charge it. Let's go.
But to me, I mean, again, I know everything's not for everybody, but the crime is like, I wish I was still ESPN. Like I know that's not my jam, but I just think, God, I mean, it's in Florida, it's in the Southeast, it's in the heart of ACC, SEC country. I just can't believe that they would take out a ESPN club for a cake bake shop on the boardwalk where there's already a boardwalk bakery. I still can't believe it.
And that and Big River Grill. I mean, if that stayed and the cake bake shop was there, I think that'd be fine. But yeah, I feel like just, I don't know, between either ESPN or Big River Grill, they were just kind of things that like, I mean, it's a burger, it's a beer, it's classic, it's, comfort food. You could watch sports event there. You can, do whatever you want. But like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, there's just like nothing really, at least one of the two, if those would have stayed open, that would have been fine. But it just kind of stinks that like now that one, Big River's empty. And yeah, no, it just kind of stinks. You can't like just go to the boardwalk, get a, burger and, watch, football game or something like that.
So let me ask you this, because I thought about this the other day. Like when you're looking for this like bar food, like comfort food, right? Like I'm talking like burgers, chicken sandwich, onion rings, fries, your typical like bar food where you're watching a game. It's getting increasingly hard to find that stuff on property. I mean, because they're getting all these specialized fancier type restaurants, which I understand. Your Walt Disney World, you're a destination, you want to have those options for guests. But I think, there's a lot of folks that on vacation, it's very easy to go to a place. And I know people like dog on places like Applebee's, but Applebee's succeeds because everybody can find something on the menu. Like the kids are going to like the chicken strips and fry basket, and like, sometimes the dad might get the riplets and sometimes but it's a safe place to go. And I think that Disney should have a couple more of those places. And like you said, one of those places should be on the boardwalk. Like they should replace Big River with something similar, with some sports.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, 100%. I feel like, I mean, I guess like City Works and Disney Springs is probably your answer, yeah. But it would be nice again, like the boardwalk, because then you could go to the boardwalk, you could, walk around with your kids. If you wanted to play the games, you could, or watch the magicians or jugglers or whoever is performing that night. But then you can, like you said, go get that bite to eat, that burger, that comfort food, something that, you most likely have somewhere around your hometown. Like it's familiar. It's not like you're trying something brand new. Cause like if you're spending the whole week trying something brand new, you might want that comfort food at the end of the day at some point. And yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of just take those away. And I mean, you got maybe the lounges around some of the deluxe resorts, but like, are you going to sit there for 4 hours to watch the game? I don't know. Yeah, they kind of been taking those away from us.
And the communal kind of aspect of it too is what I liked about ESPN. Not to belabor the point, but I went there and we rented, because back then you could like rent out a table. You would like pay a certain amount for like I forgot how it was, but during the World Cup, a bunch of us paid like a rental. It was like a minimum buy-in for the table, like a food and beverage. And so like you had this table and we watched a World Cup game there because like our friends, the Shine Gold's really into soccer. Paige, my daughter that's works up in Chicago. She's a huge soccer fan. And so we watched World Cup at the ESPN club. And it was wild because there were people there from all over the world watching these soccer games. And I'm not the biggest soccer fan. I don't know soccer very well. I coached like when she was little. But I mean, these people lived and died with like every cross. You know what I'm saying? But it was to be there in that environment where people were there from like, all these people from Argentina it wasn't even a US game. It was like Argentina against like Uruguay or something. But to me, that was still the essence of a Disney vacation because it was almost like Epcot extended. You know what I'm saying? It was, you were seeing these people from all across the world battling, in a sport. And because soccer is not that big a deal in the United States compared to like what it was for these people that were wearing the scarves and the kits. I mean, it was such a cool experience. And one time we watched a game in the Odyssey during World Cup. They turned the Odyssey into a viewing thing. It was like 1 in, 1 out. It was so full. And that was one of the coolest things I ever did in Epcot. I mean, but they need more of those kind of communal experiences around sports, I think, because sports, I know we're sports guys, but I think sports too really do kind of bring the world together. They connect people bigger than most people expect.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, it's especially something like the World Cup where it's, nations coming together. And it doesn't even have to be the World Cup. It could be a random college football game. It could be whatever. Yeah. It's a couple hours of just kind of, intense focus and just bringing all of your emotions and just connecting with other people. It's, meeting the people across the table from you that are also like the same team as you. Maybe they're FSU fans
or they hate,
fans,
like it, or especially like you hate the other team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you get like Eagles and Cowboys playing a game and it could be like week 7, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, it doesn't have to play each other. You got Eagles fans because the Cowboys are playing, like all of a sudden, like the friend of your enemy or whatever, like hey, we hate them. We're with you, we'll hang out with you for the next couple hours just to make sure they lose. I mean, there's this camaraderie that I always had at ESPN. And I think it's cool, especially in Florida, because I'm an SEC guy, but the ferocity of the fandoms, it's in the ACC too, is just, it's insane. Like you get a Tennessee Alabama game and people are on their Disney vacation. People could kill each other on the third Saturday in October. I mean, that place is going to be insane, or Florida State, or, give a rivalry. But I mean, there's so many regional rivalries that are going to happen in the Southeast. You're going to have those LSU fans at Walt Disney World. They're, oh my God, how much purple and gold do you see around Walt Disney World, all the time? We're beating a dead horse here, but I wish they would listen to that, because I just think they're just wasting an opportunity. I mean, just wasting it. Oh.
Yeah, and you get to enjoy all of that like sporting aspect in like an ESPN club, but then you walk out the door and you're back in Disney. You know,
exactly.
Like you have Disney around you. Maybe it's at nighttime and the fireworks are popping off. Like that just, again, I know we're sports guys. I know not everyone listening is sports people, but just that combination of sports and Disney. I mean, that's pretty much my entire life, other than, my wife Veronica and my cats. That's pretty much all. That's my life right there. So, yeah, I wish they had some sort of sports bar or just something ESPN club like.
Yeah, my wife cracks up because my side of the closet is my Disney shirts, my Cardinal shirts, which is very small right now because we're so terrible. I've weaned that down a little bit. All my Mizzou wear, and that's it. Because I used to have teaching stuff. That's all gone because I don't wear that anymore. So yeah, it's my Mizzou stuff, Cardinal stuff, and Disney stuff. So yeah, that's
mine. That's what brings me literally joy. Disney shirts and then Florida State shirts that I'm not entirely thrilled to wear right now because you don't want people asking you what happened. So yeah, it's pretty much just Disney, Florida State, and that's about it.
Yeah, I've been there, man. This week is not looking good for us. We lost. Brady's not playing. Nate Noel's not playing. But for the joy we got Saturday, I have to make that trade. It was. I've cried. I've cried multiple times.
Just imagine you watch Brady Cook come back from the hospital beat Auburn, and then you step outside and you go get, I don't know, ice cream or something at the Boardwalk Bakery.
I
and
know,
then,
I know.
you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
God.
Like, oh, come on.
I know.
That'd be
Seriously.
perfect.
I mean, dreams come true, right? He should have come off the field on Saturday. He went and gave a hug to his mom, who stands in the south end zone, and then should have said, "I'm going to Disney World," just like Eli back in the day.
I'm going to Disney.
That's exactly what I mean, dude.
I'm gonna go ride the Astro Orbiter, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
It's gonna
go.
scare the crap out of me. Totally. Well, hey, Jason, I'm gonna
What's
run.
scarier,
But,
an Auburn defense or the
oh my
Astro
God,
Orbiter?
yeah, they're dirty. They're going for his ankle even when he came back. No, I'm just maybe.
Oh,
No,
my
they
gosh.
got us in 2013. So anyway, I appreciate the call, buddy. Thanks for calling in, and tell Veronica we said hello.
Of course, I was going to say one more thing.
Oh, yeah, go
We're
ahead. Sure.
doing our
Yes.
first Run Disney race Saturday. We're doing the 10K, so
Yes,
that's going to be fun.
dude, the 10K is my distance. I love the 10K because it's a good hour-long race, not too long, but long enough, because
Yeah.
5K is over too quick. I like the 5K, but it's not long
Yeah,
enough.
it's
It's too short.
Perfect distance, and you're you're kind of hitting your point right there, but then you're good. Final stretch, I believe, is in Epcot, so
Yep.
you get that adrenaline. But no, we are very excited.
Make sure you post those pictures in the clubhouse. I want to give you congratulations.
Oh, 100% we will.
Dude, have a blast. I wish I could be down there. We have cheerleading
will-
state championships at Mizzou.
Oh, dang, good luck with that.
Oh, no,
That's
not this
gonna be
weekend.
intense.
No, it's not this weekend. So the Wine and Dine's not this weekend, is it? Coming up?
If this comes out Monday, it's
Yeah, it's the
Saturday.
weekend of the 2nd and 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We do have state. So yeah, I forget we shift time with the podcast coming out. Yes, that weekend of Wine and Dine is the weekend of state cheerleading championships at Mizzou. So yes, I will be at Mizzou. You will be at Wine. That's why I couldn't do it. Yes.
We shall. We'll be posting pics in the Discord. If anyone in the Discord is running, can come and say hello to me and Veronica. But yeah, it's going to be really fun.
All right. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you, my man. I'll see you later.
See you, Jason. And glad the guy fulfilled the duty.
The curse is lifted, baby.
Even though there was controversy because it wasn't out of a red Solo cup, it was out of a bag. But we're not going to go there.
Yeah, does that count? I guess it's on Saturday, but I don't know.
All right,
Technicalities in the curse. I don't know how that works.
We'll see you, baby. Talk to you later, Jason. See ya.
All right, see you, my man.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that is gonna do it for today's show. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. We got to talk a little ESPN Club, cake bake shop, restaurants that are scary, and all kinds of fun on the BOGP open line tonight after dark. We had a cancellation, so we called an audible. Hope you enjoyed it here on a Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't remember, normally on Mondays it's a trip report. And so next Monday, we will have another trip report. I think it's Len, our good friend out in Maryland, I believe. So we'll talk Disney. He has great trips and great trip reports. So come on back for that. Don't forget, our show's always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite Disney destination, whether it's Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney, for no additional cost to you. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all these shows possible. We could not do this without your support. You can support us as well. It's just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Just drop in on patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give me a follow on the social media. I'm at BeOurGuestMike on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. So give me a follow over there. And as Jason and I were talking about, we have so much fun over in the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse. It's our Discord server. Lots of channels, just all kinds of discussions going on all the time. We have the dining discussions. We have the theme park discussions. We have international parks. We have cruise line. And of course, we have a sports channel. We have a living room. We have just all kinds of conversations. We have a trivia board that goes every day, thanks to Trisha. So coming over, it's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. I'll give you a personal welcome when you drop in. And finally, we'll have a live call-in show just like this on Sunday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. So join us. Scott will be here and we'll be taking your calls for the hour. All right, I'm going to get out of here and let you get on with your Monday. But we'll be back again on Wednesday with more of your listener questions. So if you have a question, drop it in, Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. So until we get back together again for our wide range of listeners, I'm Mike here in Missouri, wishing you a great week. Whatever you do, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All right. Thanks, everybody. That was fun. We'll put this out on Monday, and you guys have a great Wednesday night. I'm going to get to editing this thing up. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.